Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ohio State at the Boys of College Football, and welcome to the Buckeye Brigade. Today, we have a shorter, not as many guys. Sadly, Chris is still here, so I got to hear whatever he has to say. But
here we go already. Oh, see, did I even say anything yet? Wasn't I keeping it cordial, B-Moses and Mike beforehand?
No, I was speaking my mind. I didn't mean to do that.
You had the ugliest shirt out of everybody in here.
Hey, go Lakers, baby. All right, let's start with Mike here. Mike, you want to introduce yourself to everyone, even though they already know you, please?
Yeah, me, Cleveland Mike, from the 216. You can find me on Twitter at 216_wildboy, and you can find me right here on this network, the Voice of College Football Ohio State channel.
I'm Chris Drew. If there's a mic involved, I'm there.
Oh, I like it. That's bars right there.
I
like it. If I steal that,
always cracking jokes.
Who joking?
No, Mike was like pause, like talking about because I said Mike and his name is Mike.
Hey, that's what you said, bro.
Hey, look, for the audience out there, just buckle up, man. It's gonna be shenanigans. But B Moses, you can find me with the Buckeye Scoop every Sunday at 6 p.m. with Funky Buck. We go live, get it in. Facebook, Buckeye Sports Talk with B Moses, got a large following there. I just hit 35,000. Well, I'm about to hit 35,000 follows on there. Yeah, let's do it. Same thing on IG, Twitter, B Moses 30. Like Chris said, man, like, hey, let's talk Buckeye football, Buckeye whatever. I'm there. Let's do it.
So, guys, of course, we got some big news recently here. Sam Grier commits to the Ohio State University at Akron, Ohio, from Archbishop Hoban. So originally when I saw the news, like I saw it about 2 minutes after, my first thought wasn't even about getting Grier. My first thought was, damn, Tyler Bowen is this shit. And just how happy I am with what he's doing, because right now, early in the process and recruiting for him being at Ohio State in a short tenure here, he's been for about a hot coffee and a small donut hole. And by the way, everyone, look at in the chat there. You should see the poll there. Are you guys happy with Tyler Bowen so far? Put yes, no, maybe. But what are your guys' first thoughts on the Sam Grier commitment and then transitioning over to the offensive line recruiting and Tyler Bowen?
I guess I'll go first. Obviously, like me and Chuck kind of talked about it last week. Like kids from Akron, there is a certain level of like celebrity and affinity for Ohio State. And Sam Grier, from the time that he got offered, I always felt like was going to end up at Ohio State. I was surprised it wasn't sooner. He's a guy that like 6'8", really good feet. I watched him as a true freshman in the state title game on the basketball side of things, going up against Devin Royal, who ended up playing for obviously Ohio State hoops. I was on the team with Sonny, and he locked him up, and it was a true freshman versus a senior. So I'm big on Sam Grier. I'm a big believer in the tools that he has. I'm a big believer in offensive linemen that play basketball, because usually that translates to good feet. You think about guys like DeJuan Jones, who even at his size, over 320 pounds, over 330 pounds in high school, had really good feet. And Ohio State felt like even as a guy outside the top 1,000, he was worth a take. Sam Grier is a better prospect than that. Sam Grier, longer arms, really physical, got the dog in him. When I go to watch Hoban football games, when you go to watch offensive lineman football games, you want to see, okay, when this team needs 5, 6, 7 yards, when this team needs a sustained drive, who do they lean to take over the game? Are they going to run that way? I saw it when I went to go watch Carter Lowe. Everything was that side. We saw watch him take over a game. I felt the same way with Hoban. And what this also does is it continues to, build this pipeline from Hoban to Ohio State. I'll get to Bowen in a second, kind of the job he's done, which has been a magnificent job. And the poll should be unanimous right now. But with Hoban, last year you land Eli Lee, and Eli Lee now, while some people, myself included, worried that maybe they took him a little bit earlier and didn't need to take him. But it opens up the door for a Sam Grier. And then again, at that same high school is Rock Hill. And then at that same high school is, Feaster. So you're talking about, a stack of 4 guys in a 2 to 3 year window that are not just like really great Ohio players, but really great players nationally. And they should all end up at Ohio State. And if they do, you get the guys who are national level recruits paired up with the fact that they are at Ohio State. And, the more Ohio kids that are there that are worthy of being there, the better. So I feel really good. Bowen's made really quick work getting these guys to commit. The video was super awesome of Sam Grier, telling Ryan Davis into Ohio State and then walking over to Bowen and kind of the reaction from Bowen. And also Bowen's a big dude too. You guys don't know he's 6'6". So you feel good about the traits, the tools. You feel good about the class so far. And it really feels good. You know, I don't have to go national for my linemen because regionally we've got really great linemen, and Sam Greer is one of them. And per my rankings, and maybe I'll, file this in with Ron 3, I think that he should be and could finish as a top 75 player in the country. But I have rambled enough so someone else can take over.
Yeah, thank you for rambling. That gave me time to try to figure out my.
That's what I was doing. I was a radio trick. I
don't know what's going on, man. The devil is a liar.
Yeah, I got you.
It's something going on. But anyway, as long as you can hear my voice, it don't matter. We're going to keep it pushing. But everything that man said, amen to that. But no, it's funny, Chris, I thought about you and Juck when I saw the commitment, out of Akron Hoban. I thought about y'all immediately. And I thought about, oh boy. And he was there this weekend as well, right?
Yeah, he was there this weekend.
So I thought about all of that, and I was just like, see, remember we was like, man, we good. I was never worried about what's his name? I keep forget his name.
We call him Rock Hill. His name is Elbert.
Elbert.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of his first. I'm just gonna call him Rock. That's so much.
So me and Juck call him Rock Hill because that's his like nickname up here.
Yeah.
But like sometimes when we say it outside of like the immediate like Northeast Ohio circle, it's like, oh, like
they won't know.
Elbert.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad Rock Hill was there and I'm sure they was vibing and Greer committing. Like I said, man, I was never really concerned. And so I think, the heat will be turned up and I expect him to be a Buckeye, man. But anyway, specifically with Greer, big dude. It's funny because I was just watching his basketball highlights a few days ago. And me and my dudes in the chat was like, okay, this dude got some work low key. I mean, so yeah, man, I'm very happy about it. And yes, I was just telling my dude, I was like, Cat's about to fall in love with Bowen, man. Like no Diddy, but they about to fall in love with him, especially coming off of Fry. And and listen, I wasn't one of those who pounded the table to hate Fry so much. But I do think he has some shortcomings in recruiting, mainly not casting a wide enough net. I don't blame him for David Sanders and asking for a freaking ridiculous NIL package or whatever else, but he needed to cast a wider net. With that said, Bowen is cooking. I think Katz is going to fall in love with him, not only for the recruiting, but I think he's going to really show how good of a coach he is when we see the product on the field. So anyway, very, very happy about this commitment. And what you said 6'7", it says 6'7", 295. What is he?
He's listed at 6. He's listed at 6'5" and 6'6.5". But I can firmly say, like without a doubt, he is 6'8". Like I know that for sure.
Okay, yeah, they need to fix that. We need all
So here's the thing.
That's all right. They ain't gotta fix it. We don't need to let nobody else know what we got.
Until they walk up on
Bowen is 6'6.5".
Yeah,
he's bigger.
Yeah, he's big.
I could tell when he walked up to Greer and dapped him up. I could tell he was big.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So myself, man, I'm ecstatic about being able to get our guy Sam Greer, man. And one thing that we had always talked about on multiple platforms was getting those offensive linemen or getting those trench guys that also play basketball who got that footwork as well, man. So I'm definitely happy that we were able to get him. And another thing, getting those Ohio guys, anybody who knows me knows how I have felt about getting these Ohio guys, especially in the trenches. When you go back and you look at the 2014 team, people who know me know that I will go back and talk about Jacoby Bourne. That guy was small. We knew he was not going to be an NFL caliber, offensive lineman. But it's just something different about these Ohio guys and that dog that they have in them, man. So I'm just glad that we were able to do that. And Tyler Bowman is cooking. I see the chat right now. 53% is saying very happy. 29% is saying happy. And then we got people at 18% saying, show me more. I mean, to be honest, has this guy not shown more than, not discredited Justin Fry? Because I give Fry all of his credit in what he was able to do in developing. Mm-hmm. But in recruiting, has he not already done more?
I mean, I guess I probably, and I think that Bowman's doing a great job. Just want to float that out there. I think probably they want to see if he can win a battle outside of Ohio, right? I think like as soon like look, he gets stamped for me right now because I believe in like only having offensive linemen from Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan. Like I don't care about anywhere else. But there are some people out there that are still going to want, go big fish hunting, go get me somebody, or put together an offensive line on the field that matches Justin Fry. So that's maybe a take. And honestly, like you shouldn't want, it makes sense for someone not to be satisfied yet. Not me personally. I'm here. I'm loving it. Shout out McDonald. Like I'm here for it. But that's just in defense of the 18% that voted want to see more.
And I'll just say this. I just want to put this little caveat out there or whatever, to those people who saying, the show me more. And if you're going to, tweet that out there, right now is the time and the momentum for us as a fan base to go ahead and back our offensive line coach. Because one thing that I can tell you, these parents, these recruits, they all see what you're saying. They see what you're saying. And I say, why not? Why not? Because I think one thing that hurt us in edge recruiting is not only some people on our beat was pushing the simple fact that Larry Johnson was retiring or all of this other stuff that just wasn't true. It added fuel to the fire that other schools was negatively using the recruiters. So I'm saying as a fan base, let's not add to the fire. Let's go ahead and build on this momentum that we have because we actually have an opportunity right now.
No, and we were talking about this earlier in the space that we did before the show. I asked, when was the last time we had 2 offensive linemen in the top 200, right? Like I went back 2 years. I was like, oh, we didn't even have it there. Of course, we have this year. We're only about kids ranked 74th and one that's ranked 183rd. So like when I see that, for me personally, it lets me know that we're on the right path. Now, of course, it's early. I mean, me personally, I guess like when people say that they want to see more, I would be more happy based off. The only thing when we say more, maybe if like we have. Let me know how you guys feel. I want maybe 5 to 6 offensive linemen in this class. Like, how about you guys?
I want 6. I think 6 is a really good number. Obviously, like I'm a firm believer that offensive linemen are the most misevaluated players in all of recruiting because it's really hard to project the size, frame, and strength and how far along guys are until you see them in pads every day and see them in a weight room every day. And a lot of the rankings is based off of, okay, how do you look in underwear at these rivals camps? And so I think they're so mis-eval. So I think you need to cast a wide net. I mean, shoot, dude, at one point, like Joe Alt was being recruited as a tight end. Like that's how much these like evals kind of get mixed up. So I would like to see 6. And I believe in taking the guys who are overly big right now, just because like if you trust Mick should be able to get those guys right, like he did with DeJuan Jones. So I think 6 is a good number. And a wide net 6, and I'm not stressed if we don't have 2 guys inside the top 200. Like I don't care about that. Just give me big bodies and let the culture and program develop them into dudes is my belief.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, and I'm really agreeing with that based off of just recent history, man. Like, you got the transfer portal, you got injuries. I mean, what we did down the stretch as a football team with this O-line was remarkable, but it was still nerve-wracking. It was anxiety filled. Like what they did in the moment, it doesn't let me rephrase. What they accomplished doesn't negate the anxiety that we had as a fan base, knowing that we had guys going down, like dropping like flies at seam. So that's sort of an outlier situation. 6, I think, is solid to make sure we have depth. Anything happens, we still have enough guys to fall back on. And like you said, Chris, man, honestly, I'm kind of irritated with O-lineman recruiting in recent years because, like I've said, they are the new divas. They are the new divas, man. You know what I'm saying? They just are. And it's just like, okay, whatever. Give me. And Mike, I feel you. And I was talking last time we had this, had the pod about the balance between, you want Ohio kids, absolutely, but making sure you get the best guys. We're Ohio State. We got a big brand. We recruit nationally. But just give me a tough, really good prospect. They ain't got to be a 5-star, who's willing to work, willing to develop under good coaching. And I'm good, man. Like, that's just how I feel at this point.
Where the slobs at?
I
Yeah,
am
man.
not recruiting you if your sneakers by the front door on the home visit do not have creases.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you are- no, I'm so serious. Like, I swear on everything.
Yes.
Like, if I go to visit a receiver, your shoes don't got creases, cool, you're styling on them. But if you're a lineman and your shoes have no creases, hey, Mrs. Jones, Mr. Jones, it was nice to meet y'all. Your son's not a fit here, and I'm walking out. I swear. You better have creases. It better smell a little crazy in your bedroom. Like I mean it.
Smell a little crazy in your bedroom.
Yeah, bro. Like, I need to be getting a house
crazy.
tour, and I don't even know. I don't even need to look in to see his room. I can smell it on the way by.
You want to see like the box of Oreos right by the nightstand?
Yeah, I want that. And honestly, the other part of it is, like, if you pay someone to do your lawn service for you, I don't want you in my offensive line room. You better be out there barefoot cutting the grass.
Wow.
Hey, we appreciate Blue Wolverine for the
Blue, man.
50. Doreen and Katie support across rivalry lines. Hello, panel and chat members, man. Hey, we appreciate you, Blue Wolverine, man. We really appreciate that. Y'all make sure that y'all like, y'all subscribe, and y'all share, man, so we can get more people in the chat. I see y'all having a good time in the chat. Y'all keep it up.
And by the way, guys, for every $100, we will go another hour. Like, I know some, like, others might have to go, like Chris might have to go, but like I'll be here, Michael be here. So
I got the kids out there being wild. That's why I'm like, hey,
no.
Sure.
So, but we truly do appreciate the contributions. Also, how did you guys know, real quick? So around the 7th, about 10 minutes here, I actually have a really special surprise for everybody that Mike knows about, but you guys don't. And I want to give a big thanks to someone in the chat, who is Katie Moore, Doreen's daughter. She's going to come on here, guys, and perform Carmen, Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. Before we get to that, I want to ask you guys, we'll do this first. So I would highly assume you guys watched our coaches talk to the media. There's a lot of things that I took away from it. But there's one part though that I want to stick to. That's Matt Patricia, because I feel like there's been a lot that's been said around him, right? Now on Ohio State prime time, everyone Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Now, my coach Ryan Stanos, he's not as big on the hire as I am. At the end of the day, how I see it is this: if your name isn't Dabo Sweeney, Ryan Day, or Kirby Smart, this guy has accomplished more than every single one of you here that's coaching college football. And I understand that people have a tendency to, like it's human nature to hang on to the negative, right? So a lot of people are going to sit there and look at what happened with the Lions. Well, newsflash, we're not asking him to be our head coach. A lot of people, to discredit him, I feel as though they say, well, he's with Bill Belichick. Okay, fair, but someone still got called the doggone calls. And he was there for a long time, so clearly he's trusted. And then I see how he's reacting with C.J. Hicks. I look at what Matt Patricia's saying about, for him having to listen and learn, for him having to go out and actually get to know these players. After a lot of guys, man, it was one of my biggest questions too. Can he be likable? I'm ready to go full bore. I'm pushing the hype train for Matt Patricia. I think all is going to be well. What do you guys say?
I think it's the single best hire across all of college athletics this year. So
Tell me more.
There's no doubt about it. I have a firm belief that guys who come from the NFL world that are able to teach and communicate at a high clip will always outcoach any college coach. I felt that way about kind of I have a long theory, and Mike knows that I track this a pretty good amount. If you look at the guys that give, college guys troubles as a lot of times as the guys that are NFL wise, because they have to kind of sit in a room and to figure out a way to get an advantage when things are evenly matched across the field. And the most successful NFL coordinators have to sit in a room and get an advantage when you're designed to go 8-8. If you look at the guys that have given, some of the great defensive minds, issues in college football, it has been Ryan Day, who I deem as an NFL guy, because that's where his passing game is from. He's been the one that dismantled Kirby. If you look at kind of, the OC at the time, what's his name's with the Ravens right now? Todd Monken. He went up against Jim Knowles, NFL guy versus college guy. He was able to kind of run circles around him. If you look at some of the defensive minds in the sport that came from NFL back down to college, Jeff Hafley dominated every, college-minded offensive coach because he was that good. So my belief is the guys who are in the NFL for that long and continue to communicate at a high clip will always have the edge over a career lifelong college coach. That paired up with the fact that his job is to run the defense. And if you are in a world where you have to scheme the advantage when talent is equal, what are you going to do scheming when the talent is not equal? So you're going to get that same kind of like advantage driven style, except for we're more talented than every team we play. And so that's, I think, what made the Jeff Hafley defense really successful. And I'm expecting that on steroids, given the personnel, given the athleticism, and given the base look that Jim Knowles kind of set up. So I think it's the best hire across all of college football. And if you think otherwise, you're foolish. And to the Michigan fans that like try to clown it a little bit, it's like, okay, like how are you going to do that at the same time you pump up Wink Martindale, who was DC for my New York Giants and was horrendous, but I can acknowledge that was a good hire because you're in a world where you're set up to go 8-8 and there's no talent advantage. So best hire in all college athletics, and kind of by a wide margin. So I'm really excited about Matt Patricia. And also, like, it looks therapeutic for him. It looks like he's happy to be there. It looks like a breath of fresh air. And I'm expecting the more NFL like college football gets, you'll get more NFL level coaches that come down here for the breath of fresh air because they're dealing with kids without the big egos.
Yep.
But also in a structure that's enough that they won't have to like sit down, go home to recruit because of how revenue sharing works. So that's my general belief on Matt Patricia and the defense, and I'm ready to pass it to B. Moses.
Amen. Amen. You got me revving, brother. That's you preaching. I agree. I love the hire, and Buckeye fans annoyed, just irritated my soul with their responses because again, it's not just because I have a different opinion. It's not about your different opinion. All right. You're not thinking it through. You're responding emotionally and you're just being goofy. Like, stop it.
Let him know.
Okay. Listen, if you're going to judge Matt Patricia like some of these fans judge them, then you need to wipe out every coach who failed and, slid back and had to come back. And I mean, go look at resumes, y'all.
Ryan Day failed as an offensive coach in the NFL.
He did.
Like, nobody wants to talk about
wasn't perfect in his career. I mean, we can go down the resume. All right. So listen, there was two groups of people who were responding with the goofiness. It was Lions fans who were also Buckeye fans. Who were butthurt, and it was Michigan fans, like Chris said, trying to hate, trying to downplay, and all this other stuff. Like, listen, Ryan Day knows Matt Patricia has a brilliant mind. Miss me with this, he was only a product of Bill Belichick, as if Bill Belichick was calling the plays and holding his hand, in the booth. Like, stop it, man. Y'all being stupid. I love this hire. And like Chris said, you could tell he's refreshed. And here's the other thing. Speaking of refreshed, Ryan Day is refreshed. Don't that man look refreshed? He looks like he is just on cloud 9. And I bring Ryan Day up because I'm telling you, Ryan Day is all in on taking on the Nick Saban mantle. He's taking it on, y'all. He's stepping into it. And the Matt Patricias of the world and other guys are going to come cycling through. We're going to hire 50-11 analysts with great experience to come in, just like Saban did. And I'm here for it, man. I love this hire, and I agree with Chris all the way. You're ridiculously foolish, and you're not thinking if you believe this Matt Patricia hire is a bad hire. I don't know what to say.
6 of the 7 bags have disappeared from under Ryan Day's eyes, just for the record. Them joints crazy. Those joints were crazy, dog. And now they're gone.
Yeah.
Mike, did you want to go real quick, Mike, before we read the super chat?
No, go ahead. Yes.
All right, awesome, man. First of all, thank you, Doreen. Thank you, Blue Wolverine, for continuing to support all fan bases, even Buckeyes. Katie and a few that can say that we're in the best damn band in the land. COVID year became her natty year. How firm thy friendship. Oh, I should sing that, but I can't really sing. Oh, hi. Pops, love you too, Chris. Love to see it. Love to see
we
it.
appreciate you, Doreen.
I saw Doreen's Chris appreciation post. That was actually really dope. That was dope.
Me and Doreen been through a lot together, man. That's really moms, dude.
Locked in
forever. And she also gets it, dog. Like, you guys know I'm like addicted to working, and she like sees all the work, and I really have a appreciation for that part of it.
She really the GOAT, man. We definitely appreciate her. Always have been around supporting. Definitely have supported me. So I appreciate her for sure. And she hit me up yesterday as well. So, I'm always here for you, and you've always been here for me. So that's how I got that. That's how Buckeye Nation roll, man. A lot of people like to talk about Buckeye Nation and say we ain't good people, man, but we really are good people, man.
We're just lunatic friends. That's all.
Except for Garrison, bro, with that shirt on.
When they come to Common Court. But about that.
I'm not gonna do you like that. Hey, bro, Garrison, bro. They told me I got a call after the last show. They said, man, you let Garrison pack you up, not my go. I said, what?
No, listen. First off, let me say. Wait. We're not gonna just skip over that.
Good call.
For getting in a war for packing Chris up, I just want to let you guys know this. I want to thank God. I want to thank my mama. I want to thank Chris for giving me the opportunity, to just learn how his mannerisms, so that I can't stuff him in a locker, so I can't pack him away. It means a lot to me, and I just want to continue this greatness and keep doing it.
My nose must be bleeding, bro. Something wrong.
Bruh.
Oh man,
I'm undefeated.
Anyway.
So is LeVar Ball until never mind.
Oh damn, bro.
I'm saying, Garrison, look. You know why this is messed up? Look, B. Moses, this is why this is messed up. We are on a podcast of 4 black men, strong, powerful black men. All of us really uplift the black community, and yet here GDG want to make fun of a black father that went 3 for 3 just because he got 1 or 2 legs. That's what that was.
Garrison loves diabetes.
So
that's what it is. hey, they do Chris loves cancer. We do it. Garrison loves diabetes.
The other 3 of us, we swerving in that corner. Go Buckeyes. I just want to, on a lighter note, I'm ready for the next topic though, Kang, before this gets off.
Oh yeah. Well,
hey, can I say something about our fans real quick? 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
For sure.
Yeah, about our fans. I've been kind of up and down on our fans. I used to defend our fans a lot, and I still do to an extent, but man, it's been hard these past few years to do it. I'll say this though. I think our upper echelon IQ football fans are the best. We have the smartest upper echelon football mind fans, in my opinion, amongst any fan base. But however, we may have the worst bottom of the fan base out there, not only because of their ridiculousness, but the size per capita. We're the biggest fan base. Like New York Times did that research. That's a fact. And so, we're everywhere. We're polarizing. But yes, we have some bad fans, but we got some great fans too, especially the football-minded ones who actually want to learn the game and understand among the best. Just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the ones that are here with us right now. So it's perfect.
Amen.
And before we move on, shout out to our guy, Sam Koshwal with Sam. So it isn't much, but here's some of my college tuition money, LOL. You guys deserve it and love the show. Go Buckeyes. Appreciate you, man. Truly do.
Appreciate you, Sam.
So I have another quote for you guys. Not so much a quote, but a question here. So Brian Hartline, he talked about continuing to reassess to self-assess himself as a coach. Ryan Day said, he's the one talking in the headset, talking to the quarterbacks, which is good. You got the wide receivers with the quarterbacks in the same room. So here's my question. Oh, also, Brian Hartline said Jeremiah has been more vocal around the team. So
I don't believe him.
Let me hear it. Go ahead. I'm going to ask him, what's one of those things you guys want to harp on?
No, it's not one. It's not one of those things. Just on the Jeremiah Smith thing, in my world, in my imagination that I choose to live in, a lot of the times, Jeremiah Smith doesn't do nothing but be on the jugs machine and kill dudes. All he does is on the jugs machine and kill corners. He doesn't say a word. It's like I never heard Julio Jones talk to nobody. In fact, I remember never forget the one mic'd up clip. He said, "I got hit by Julio Jones one time. I looked at him. It was an incomplete pass. I said, yeah, that's incomplete. Julio looked at me, inhaled, exhaled, and went for 200 yards." So that in my head, that is Jeremiah Smith. So maybe he has been more vocal, but to me, he's silent.
Did we just lose Garrison?
We did. The tapes are too fire. I burned down this internet.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want Heartline to be? In the box or on the field? Out of curiosity.
I always want my coordinators.
I'm back
in the box.
Like you never left.
I always want them in the box.
In the box. It's fascinating because, like, I think I do want my coordinators in the box, especially if my head coach who's also an offensive mind. But at the same time, I can't think of a time where I'd ever want a receiver coach in the box.
Here's the thing, though. Do you trust his assistant? I mean, his assistant's been there how long?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Coach Key's got to be in the box then, right? I don't know where you're at, Moses, with all this, but I think that I like Heartline on the field with the receivers in case he sees something, just naturally, because that's a big position group to coach.
I just talked about this with somebody. We talked about it yesterday actually on prime time, and I understand you do have to have some offensive staff in the booth, right? But for me personally, in this first year, at least first half of the season, I want Heartline's ass on the field, and I want Bowen's ass on the field. And the reason being is because I want to make sure Ryan Day has that communication with him. I'm sure he trusts him. I believe Ryan Day gave Brian Hartline veto power. I believe he did, and all to say so. But for me personally, I think it's important that they're able to stay down there so they can have clear communication. You can put someone up in the booth; they can see what they're seeing, bring and relate that down to the field. But I think for those two guys specifically, especially Brian Hartline, I think it's just better for him to be on the field, for the communication purposes.
You can't have all three of them.
I think Hartline. I'm gonna tell you, Hartline needs to be in the box. I know guys is talking about Coach Key being in the box, but do you really want Coach Key in the box? Like, do we got that much faith in? I say like our tight ends. Like, I know we're talking about, hey, Max Clare. We know what they can do. We know how these tight ends can be maybe in the passing game, but what about in run game, in the blocking game? Like, doesn't Coach Key need to still be on the field? Because he's even saying, like, we were the weakest unit last year. So do you want to take the weakest unit of last year, right, and then not have that coach on the field this year? Who's going to be there to be with those guys, right? That's one of my worries. And I just think that as a coordinator, if you are ready to take that step, you need to go ahead and be in the box. Hartline needs to be able to coach his staff up now. You've had Devin Jordan side by side next to you for how many years? If he can't handle that on the field sideline stuff while you're up there in the box, then we need to go get another guy.
Yeah, I guess part of it is like how ready is your unit on game day? I guess I don't know.
Carnell's. Sorry to cut you off, but Carnell's a vet. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're now going in there. JJ is going to be a vet now too. Yeah. I would say BI's a vet. Maybe not as a starter, but I look at him as a vet. And then and I mean Ryan Day already came out even before spring and said that BI is going to be a focal point. So,
all right. So listen, my knee-jerk reaction typically is to want my old coordinator in the box. Okay, that's typically, but there's context to this. This is Brian Hartline. He's lived on the field. He coaches his guys up. He's also seen Ryan Day on the field calling plays, and I know obviously it's been kind of hot and cold. He's had some great moments calling plays on the field, but he's also had some strain because of that. So I'm saying that to say is one of these analysts we hired I'm looking at the analysts. We got Charlie Dickey, Marcus Johnson, Wendy Lauren, and then, of course, Tyler Bowen, who's called plays. Can one of these guys be up there? Because to me, it's about, do you trust the eyes in the booth? Because if you trust your eyes in the booth, Hartline can call plays just the same on the field if he trusts the picture that's being painted by the booth. One thing I wanted to say, Mike, about what you were saying about Devin Jordan, and if you don't trust him, honestly, I don't even think it's about that. I think as a coach, if anybody has coached on any level, it's not always necessarily about you not trusting. It's about what you want to do as a coach to be able to look them in the eye, like Ryan Day said, to be able to connect with your guys. It's something about that from a coach to get his guy going or to make sure they're good or whatever. So it's that give and take of, okay, do I sacrifice that element that they feel is important to go in the booth, or do I sacrifice the booth to go on the field? So that's why he said Hartline can choose, and maybe he'll get a feel for it in the spring game to kind of see how he feels. But I wouldn't be upset if he ended up on the field. I'll say that, at least starting off, just to see how it goes. That's just how I feel.
What I've heard from some NFL guys and some college guys, some coaches some OCs too, that I've talked to, is that on the field, sometimes it can get a lot harder to get yourself out of ruts because you're so much in the emotion of the game. And when you're up top, looking at a top-down approach, it's less emotion and it feels more like a chess move. And like you see, I mean, you can figure out why things aren't working. But I do wonder, with the iPads on the field, I think it might give you more leeway to do more from the sideline. Personally, I like my coordinators, defensive coordinators especially, to be removed from the emotions of the field, because I think sometimes when guys get emotional, that's when you get like the blitz happy stuff or like the man-to-man stuff nonstop. And the prime example was like Halfley to Combs. Like Carey was not good at all when he was on the field because you're like caught up in the emotion of like every play. Like, oh, you get a man-to-man stop. Oh yeah, let's run man again. Now on the offensive side of the ball, I think play sequencing is so important. So it's going to take you having unbelievable chemistry with whoever's the eyes in the sky. And I think that could be key because Key and Hartline have been there together for so long. You would think those two are probably the closest. But I would like Hartline in the box for his own, I guess, coaching development saga, if you will.
Hey, can I ask y'all something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do y'all think, is there something to Kevin Wilson departing and the play calling from Day on the sideline suffering?
Yes, that is part of my point. Absolutely, because I think you're too close. Like, it's hard to sequence and you're caught up in the emotion of the game rather than like kind of being almost semi removed from the game and calling plays from a purely tactical standpoint. I've heard it compared to, a coach compared it to this, which this coach was not in the military, but compared it to trying to put together a strategy while you're on the front lines versus putting together a strategy and radioing it down when you're in a tower a mile away.
Yeah, so I asked that because I feel like the timeline of when Day's play calling started to suffer a little bit was when Kevin Wilson left. And like he could fully, and this is why I said trust the eyes in the sky. Because to me, if you have a Kevin Wilson up there who's done it for years, who's been proven to know what the heck he's talking about, then I can see Ryan Day having better play calling based off of the interpretation of what Kevin Wilson is seeing. And real quick, Doug Shepard Sr., you said if Hartline stays on the field so he can look receivers in the eye, the rest of the offense will suffer. I disagree, contingent upon my point about having a Kevin Wilson type of guy up there to paint the picture. He's not just going to just ignore the running backs and the offensive line. The picture will be painted, and he can call plays based on that. It's not just about looking the wide receivers in the eye. But anyway, that's the key, though. Is there going to be somebody up there that can be trusted? That's the question if he's going to stay on the sideline. Go ahead, Mike.
So who is that guy who has been up there, who has the experience of looking at it from that view and relaying down to the field? Who is that guy right now on staff? Because that's my thing.
That's a great point, because presumably, like if Hartline is your second best offensive mind on the staff behind Ryan Day, them both being on the field might not be what you want.
So would you put Bowen or him? Bowen or him up there?
And that's no, I don't want Bowen up there with our offensive line. You cannot have an
offensive line coach up there.
No, heck no. I'm telling you, it has to be I believe it has to be hardline, bro.
You can't have an O-line coach up there.
No,
I'm asking why you. I'm asking you why.
We've
Because
had him up there before, but go ahead.
Who have we had up there before?
Warner.
Bowman.
When Bowman was a line coach?
Remember Bowman under Tressel? He was the O coordinator and the line coach.
That was that. First of all, I don't remember.
And we ain't going back to that. So no, that's a non-starter.
You could have named the O-line coach at Iowa. Like, what are you doing? You don't want that.
I just wanted to piss people off because Bowman was notorious for terrible offense.
Nah,
but
go ahead.
They say on game days, offensive line needs the most coaching on game days. Offensive line and quarterbacks need the most coaching on game days.
And that's just my thing. You already have your OC on the field your OC-minded guy on the field in Ryan Day. There's no point in having two on the field, bro. So Brian Hartline, and I understand what you're saying about, needing to be able to look the guys in the eyes. But here's the thing. With Brian Hartline, you want to be an OC? You want to move up in your coaching career? Now it's time for you to start getting your staff ready. Now it's time for you to start taking that CEO approach of your offense, right? Because that's what Ryan Day had to do. I got to coach my coaches to be coaches. That's what Brian Hartline needs to do. This is part of his job description now. He got to develop. You got to develop next man up.
Shout out Emily in the chat. Got B Moses feeling himself.
I feel young.
B Moses is 48.
I'm not 48.
That hairline 20 though.
That's that good wine. That's that.
And I hate his hairline. Let me just say that.
Oh man, she said, "Are you old enough to know about the trestle hair?" That's hilarious, actually. But yeah, thank you for that, Emily.
B Moses is older than me, huh?
I'm gonna read a quick message from the Voice of College Football, and then let Mike share some news with you guys. Holy crap. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. See what our partner Win Agency here on the screen has to say about our sponsorship experience with us. Let's discuss how you also can reach your target market effectively. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships@vocfb.com.
And we are bringing you all a new show to the Voice of College Football called the World Famous Buckeye Show. Will be hosted by myself and Terry at College Football Stop on Twitter. So make sure that y'all are tuning in every Wednesday at 7:30 right here on the Voice of College Football. And I'm looking forward to being on this platform. Looking forward to working more with Garrison, Mark Rogers, and all of the guys. So if you are not subscribed, if you have not hit the notification bell, you need to do so because this is where we will be at.
No,
unfortunately, I gotta run, but I'll see you guys at the next one.
Man,
we appreciate you, Chris.
Hold up, bro. I'm just playing. I'll holler at y'all, boys.
Right, man. I appreciate you, Chris.
Yeah, it was a blast as always.
So, guys, I want to give you guys a chance to bring up anything you wanted to. That's been going around lately for Ohio State football. So I want to start with you, B. Moses. Like, what recently has been going on Ohio State, or anything that's been really catching your eye, or something that you really want to talk about?
Yeah, man. I think the Julian saying buzz from the NFL Combine all the way through till now, just hearing current players, ex-players gush about him, has been great because. Like I said, I'll be honest with you. I know his ranking and all that stuff. I know Saban wanted him 5-star, #1 quarterback, all that. But the little time that I saw him in games, I saw a couple passes that looked a little like, hold on now, what's going on? So I was like, man, does he have a good enough arm? Did something happen? But to hear all of those rave reviews about how he's been looking, to me, is encouraging for this team. And then just everything on top of that, as far as this reports we're hearing, guys stepping up, even wanting to do away with last year's championship stuff and get your own, all that stuff gets me juiced up, man. These coaching hires, you know what I'm saying? Like in the off season, like all this stuff matters. And so my excitement has climbed because of all these things. And so, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to seeing. The next thing I want to hear about is the scrimmages. The scrimmage nuggets. I want to know what's going on with that, man. Who's stepping up? Who's making a move on the depth chart? And also, we know there's going to be some transfers, but we know we're eyeing the portal. Ryan Day already said he's hitting the portal because we didn't get a chance to when we were on the run. So I'm excited about, are we going to get a stud defensive end? Are we going to pick up some key, you know what I'm saying? All of that coming down the pike has me excited.
When it comes to Julian Sam, man, last year, there were some passes I saw. I was like, oh, that wasn't pretty. At the same time, listen, there was a Twitter conversation I had with my guy Darren Talks Ball, fellow West Michigander like I am. He's a Michigan fan, but he talked about Dante Moore and Julian Sam, saying that he would choose Dante Moore to be better than Julian Sam right now based off the tape they've shown. And I asked, well, what tape are we talking about here? Because he talked about the spring game. He talked about the few the throws that he had during the season. And I said, listen, man, like from a spring game, A, I try not to take too much from it. B, I don't take much for quarterbacks at all for spring games. Because why? The defense has the drop on you. They know what you're running all month. They know it, and you're running the simplest plays in your playbook. Mind you, Julian was going against the first-team defense. So I didn't really expect anything. And then he threw 12 passes last year. 5 of those came in one game. So I think Julian is going to be very good. I mean, the professor said that, yes, you want to get the ball out quick like he does, but, he's got to work on that velocity, work on the upper body strength, work on torquing that middle set, that core of his. But I'm very confident in Julian. Now, Mike and I, we've had the question about Lincoln Keenholz. I think Lincoln has a spot in this offense where he can be useful. I truly do. I think in that red zone, he can be very useful, especially within the 5-yard line. Because I highly doubt we're ever going to be using Julian Sam on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. So, but I
agree with you. I think he could be our Bo Pabula, like Bo Pabula was for Penn State. I really do. I think, a lot of people is, focused on Sam. I'll tell you this. I think that number 2 quarterback is going to be just as important this coming season as well. So a couple things that I, have liked coming out of spring, being down here in Texas, I got to go over to McKinney, got to see Riley Pettijohn play in person. So just to see him, out there in one of the practice, seeming like he was commanding the defense a little bit, just the things that I'm hearing out of camp, I love it, man. I'm excited to hear it. And I seen someone on Twitter, I don't know if it was you, Garrison, or something, but it was just like talking about, the defensive guys that we have now. And I was like, yeah, we haven't recruited the Jerome Bakers and the Raekwon McMillans of the world. And now we have those guys, man. I mean, even I'm excited to see what Arvell Reese is going to be like at linebacker this year, Anybody that knows me, I done tweeted about it, I talked about it. I really feel like this is the year of the Twitch monsters, and they had, I don't think that people really understand. You can go find old clips, old videos of me talking about it and breaking it down of how much Ryan Day has really had to get this roster readjusted to the athletes that are actually Ohio State caliber, man. And I think he's been doing a really good job at it. I see Justin Cates got a question. Clee Mike, talk to me about the Sandra Day O'Connor lineman that picked up an offer this past Friday. Smith is the last name. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. It is it has kind of been hard for me to get as into recruiting as before in this like NIL era, man. Like, there's a couple guys who, I pay attention to, who I like. Most of the time they're, around the area where I could go watch them or something. And it doesn't matter where they go. I'm just going to, watch them or whatever. Like I'm still a fan of Mark Fletcher, right? But it's hard to keep up with these guys, man. And also it was just hard. You talk about linemen, especially with Justin Fry, we offer people what did that ever mean? So I'm having to get back into this recruiting and kind of find my niche with it, because it's definitely completely different how it used to be.
Do you guys? So like I want to talk about also some early spring MVPs, and but first I want to know, who did you guys have? Like, who do you think so far is based on what you're reading? Maybe even who you think is going to shine in the spring, maybe even in the spring game. Is there a few names that coaches have spoken about, maybe multiple times, maybe once, that you wanted to hear? One for me was Gabe Van Sickle. Like I said earlier, I'm a West Michigan guy. I believe Gabe has a lot of ability. I think he was overlooked. I might be frozen. Am I frozen?
No,
you're
now.
good. Your pixel's a little low, but you good.
I don't know what's going on. I had like 3 laptops, but no, I just think that that's someone I would choose. Like, who's someone that, like, name one or two of who you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's an obvious thing, obvious name for a lot of people, but I want to see Mylan Graham. I want to see what he does. We heard so much buzz about him, even in the off season, and it's funny how we just, the fans just drool over a 5-yard out. Oh, he looks explosive, you know what I'm saying? But I do think he has the potential to do some work, man. And I know you chuckle, Mike, because of Garrison's take last time about him being the second most talented. I had to be the interpreter. I got what he was trying to say. But no, I do want to see if Mylan Graham can just add an element of explosiveness, even in spots. And then also I'll do a 1A, 1B. Brandon Ennis, I'm hearing he's going to be did I take your I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. I'm not going to take it. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I want you to rock.
All right. So hearing that Ennis is lost Garrison again. Got that dial up, but I can't talk. I got camera issues. But so anyway, Brandon Ennis getting handoffs, and not just handoffs, but just being worked in as a guy, like how we did it with Abuka. We would line him up in the backfield and orbit motion, and he even blocked sometimes, and basically to create matchups with linebackers and stuff like that. Brandon Ennis is a kid who, to me, is physical, tough. He has running back ability. He's not a blazer, but he can go. He actually looks faster watching him catch balls. But yeah, Brandon Ennis is the other guy I want to see. If those two guys can get going, man, along with JJ and Carnell, oh my God.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Garrison.
Not that on purpose, but I was like, I gotta do something.
So, to piggyback off of what you said about B.I., it's that's who I was looking forward to. I've been a big fan of his, since he was in high school, talking to SFE coach, Coach Dirt, and just everything that I've always heard about Brandon Ennis. So that's definitely someone who I'm excited about. And when Ryan Day was talking about, like you were saying, using him as a running back, but then also using him like they used at Mecca, it sounded like he was talking about doing the exact same things like that he did for Mecca with him, but then also what he did with Xavier Johnson with him as well. Yeah. So that's something that got me excited. But shout out to our homie Emily. I wanted to put this up here. She said, Rogers, we talked today in the space about it. I believe that Hartline might need to break his philosophy this year. Ryan Day said, hey, we didn't run as many plays, so that way we can keep the guys fresh. I think the way that they're talking, I mean, the Rogers has been in this program going on what now 3 years, and then the way that Marlon Graham is supposed to be coming on, you're at least 5 deep in this wide receiver room. We should be rotating and keeping those guys fresh by rotating. I'll say a lot, right? I mean, obviously, nobody can do what JJ do. He's probably not going to come off the field, but that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing and hoping that we're going to see. So, Bryson Rogers, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then I also say I want to see what they're going to do with Bryce West. I know a lot of people want to see him move into the nickel spot, but my biggest thing about that is with him, I just feel like even though it was 1 rep in that Tennessee game, we have not seen a cornerback at Ohio State do what he did in how many years?
Mike, that was one of the best reps from a corner that I have seen in some time.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't understand why everybody want to move him inside when we saw something like that. Like, I'm really interested in seeing it. Maybe, he learns inside and he's able to hop back outside, though. But like our former Buckeye, Chimity Chekwa, because I talked to him about it on Twitter, and I was just saying, why not build on that outside play right now? It's just how I look at it.
Well, so we got someone in here. We got a guest with us, everybody. So I'm going to pull her up right now. So everyone, we have someone famous here. She's from Row Q of the best damn band in the land. Our friend Katie Moore. Katie, how are you? Oh, I can't hear you.
You might still be muted.
Yep. We can't hear you yet. Oh, Carla will work it out, and then we'll bring you back up here.
All right.
We'll get back up here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a StreamYard or if it's her mic.
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes it really depends.
Sometimes it does.
Mike, we were in the space earlier. We were talking, but while she's doing that, I'm going to ask you about this. We had a conversation about Sonny Styles, and this being his second year, being a linebacker coming down from safety. I always tell people, even though Sonny's a bigger guy, if you naturally play a position your whole life, an example I'll give you, whatchamacallit, safety from Muskegon.
Hartford?
No, from Muskegon, Michigan. He was a safety for Ohio State. He transferred this last year.
Hold on. You said
Cam Martinez.
Oh,
okay.
So people was like, so Cam Martinez, I don't know if you like, he's from Muskegon, Michigan. The Muskegon Big Reds is it is the biggest powerhouse in high school football in the state of Michigan, or at least top 3 easily. But his whole life he played quarterback. And I had a conversation with my dad about this not too long ago because he thought he could have been good at Ohio State. And I said, Dad, he was never going to be good at Ohio State. He goes, why? Why? I said, you don't tell me in what world a quarterback can go play defense. His whole mentality is quarterback. If you have the mentality of a quarterback, you're never going to be a defensive player, right? So I look at Sonny, coming down from safety. Now, safety, usually you're not a big hitter, depending on who you are. Sonny was a different cat coming out of high school, but it's different when you got to go tackle guys at the collegiate level. I mean, hell, I remember at the D2 level, I played running back my whole life. I go play corner. I saw all of our fullbacks. He's like 240 pounds, had the squad at 700 pounds. I saw him coming up the sideline in practice. I made a business decision, and I dipped inside and let him take the outside. I did that shit. I did. I won't lie to you. So what do you guys expect to see from Sonny in year 2?
Yeah, I'm expecting – well, first of all, I don't think he got enough love last year. Yes, the season started off. You could tell he was still learning. You could tell he wasn't triggering as quickly as he could have, but that started to change towards the end of the season. And he started smacking dudes. Because my complaint earlier was like, man, he's doing okay, but he's just not splashing. And I think it's because he was thinking a little too much. But towards the end of the season, it started to click a little more. But I'm expecting him to make those splash plays more often, to where he knows the scheme so much, he's so comfortable that he's just triggering, boom, boom, boom. And I think Patricia is going to dial him up a little more as well, to send him on a blitz, to be able to disrupt. So I'm excited about Sonny, man, because again, it's not easy to just switch positions. You know what I'm saying? Like some is harder than others, but it's not easy to just to switch positions on a team like Ohio State and D1 college football. So I expect him to really break out, and if he does, would y'all agree? First round with his athleticism and talent,
for sure.
If it clicks on a level of All-American type level.
If he run a 4.4, 4.5 as a linebacker, it's a run. Yeah.
Sure.
And I gotta go in about 4 minutes, fellas.
All right. Let me bring Katie back up here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Katie, first off, congratulations on being a national champion while you were on the bench at Ohio State. And just make clear for me, can you tell us what you play there? What
trombone.
you played?
Yeah, I played trombone.
But did you guys play any instruments?
I did not. I used to beat on the table, on the lunchroom table.
Yeah.
I know my mom played clarinet back in her day.
I was in jazz band for like 4 years.
Did you do jazz hands? Did you do jazz hands?
No, I was,
no.
Spirit fingers.
Yeah. So, Katie, first of all, I want to tell you I appreciate you for doing this, because I actually had this idea. I finally, would ask your mom if you could do this for us. I was again very happy you said yes. So everyone, special treat here from our friend Katie, and Katie, you can take it away.
Little Carmen, Ohio action.
The little Carmen, Ohio. I told Doreen, I promise I won't cry while she does this. So.
Well, just a disclaimer: I haven't really touched a trombone since the national championship back in January. So I'm hoping this sounds good for y'all. But all right.
Let's go.
Hey, that's the go
Katie.
right there.
Katie,
that's the go right there.
Katie hit us with the, I hope this sounds good, then proceed. Then just effortlessly kills it. Like,
I haven't done this in so long. Let me go ahead and kill it though real quick.
That was a setup. She knew what she was doing. Great job, Katie.
Oh, yeah.
That was dope.
Oh, that meant a lot, Katie. I appreciate that. My dad's actually watching, so I'm sure he's gonna text me about that later. He wanted to hear that. So thank you, Katie.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, of course. Again, Doreen, thank you for allowing this to happen. Katie, again, thank you for bringing your magical talent from the best in the land.
Before you get out of here, Katie, what are you looking forward to with Ryan Day's spring showcase coming up?
I mean, from what I've heard, it's just gonna be like another spring game, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm most interested to see. Well, I'm interested about the quarterbacks. Saiyan especially, because last year when he was playing, like from the stands, I was like, this man is gonna get snapped in half like a twig if he doesn't put on some weight. So I'm interested to see how he does, because I've heard he's done really well so far. I mean, I'm really interested in that offense in general because we've lost so many key players. So, yeah. I mean, defense I'm excited for. But
for sure. And then
how'd you feel about the? Wait, one second. How'd you feel about the Matt Patricia hire?
At first I was skeptical, but the more I thought about it, I really like it because I mean the guy's won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator, so can't be that bad.
Facts.
Excellent point.
She's smart.
People say both things, and I'm like, well, the man won a Super Bowl, so.
Right.
And my one question I have to ask you, because we always see every year the annual Ohio State football team kicking it with the band and playing instruments and doing everything. How is that tradition? Like, how do you enjoy it? How is it with mingling with the players? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite traditions that the band has done. I think this year I gave my trombone to Sam Williams Dixon, but I didn't know it was him at the time because I know hardly any of their names besides like the major guys. But yeah, it's one of my favorite traditions because we get like backstage access to them essentially. Like hardly anyone else gets to that. I'll tell you, I did meet Will Howard, and my gosh, he's just like he appears on TV in real life, like his personality. Oh my gosh, he's so funny.
Was he like the commercial he did?
Oh, yeah. I think what was it? Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
The Zoolander, Dr. Pepper commercial.
What we learned about him is that when he was in 6th grade, he played trombone.
Oh wow!
So automatically, I was like, well, if we win the national championship, I got to get his jersey, and well, I have his jersey now.
There you go. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Again, Katie, we appreciate you for doing this. Like this is awesome. I'm really, and thank you for your football insight. Actually, honestly, we'll probably open up the phone lines here for the next. We got to be for the next hour, Mike.
Hey, I know B Moses got to get out of here, man.
Yeah,
but
man.
Hey, me and Garrison, we rocking out, and we appreciate Katie for gracing us with that amazing, I say serenade.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
It's my pleasure.
Yep. So, all right, Katie, man, maybe we'll have to get you back on here, to do this once the season kicks off, and just. Maybe we'll do that right before the game. Get the season kicked off the right way, and maybe start the show off that way, so we get everybody in that Buckeye mode. What you think about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to come back on your show again. I mean, if like in another episode or something, if you want to like ask me questions about my time into Biddle or like how they do this or how they do that, like. I'd be more than happy to answer those kinds of questions too.
It's off-season content time.
Yeah, well, Katie, you signed yourself up for it. All right, you have a good one, Katie. Thank you.
You guys too. Take care.
Right.
See you, Katie. Thank you.
All right, Katie.
And Doreen, thank you so much for allowing us and sharing the Buckeye Nation with your daughter. We appreciate that. Not many of us, get to meet people who have people on a team, a band, and stuff, and get to see or, get to hear about those backstage things. Because I don't think that any of us knew that Will Howard played the trombone. So all 200 people in here, y'all the only people that know that Will Howard played the trombone growing up, right? So I think that was pretty awesome.
It's a good trivia question answer right there for the future.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a Buckeye Brigade. Let me write that down.
All right, fellas. Before I dip,
can
I say one last thing?
Yeah,
I want to plug.
Make sure everyone knows they can find you, brother.
You said what now?
Also, make sure everyone else knows they can find you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Once again, Buckeye Sports Talk will be Moses on Facebook and IG. Twitter, bmoses30. I'm on TikTok as well, bmoses. Buckeye Scoop. I go live every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. with Funky Buck. So make sure you join me there as well. And then one thing I wanted to plug, speaking of Carmen, Ohio, I have a song out, y'all. It's called You Know What Time It Is, featuring Curtis Grant, the former linebacker with Ohio State. All right. He's on the joint. My brother Ron Lyles is actually singing a little sample of Carmen, Ohio on that song. So I'm bringing that up. Number one, it needs to be plugged. Number two, you know, with KD playing the Carmen, Ohio, it makes sense. So it's available on all streaming sites, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, all of that. Go check it out, download it, play it, whatever. That's it.
Man, hold on 1 second now. Hold on.
Are you about to pull that joint up?
Yeah, I'm probably later. Yeah.
I need to do a better job of promoting it too, man. I ain't said nothing about it in a few weeks.
You really need to do a better job of promoting a lot of them music you be putting out. I'm gonna just say that. Yeah, because see, a lot of people don't know. I've been rocking with B Moses since like a minute. I used to be on Facebook heavy, man. So
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Living in Michigan, I missed out on a lot of this. That's okay.
So the hope is to get that joint played in the shoe, man, at some point, or just whatever, like in the locker room. I'm trying to really get it out there. So share, play that joint.
Tag Russ Bjork. Everybody go tag Russ Bjork in it too.
Yeah, you know, this is what we're gonna do, everybody.
We gonna swear.
We're gonna drop the link. We're gonna drop the link, and everybody's gonna sit there under the link and tag Ross Bjork. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get that off tonight.
Thank you, Richie. I appreciate that. Nice, clean Buckeye helmet background in the man cave. I had to get it done, man. But anyway, I gotta get to these kids and all that other stuff. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'll see y'all next go around.
Most definitely. I appreciate
everybody to the chat. Peace.
Yeah. And for everybody that's still rocking out with us, man, been hanging out with us, you know, go ahead. If y'all got questions, y'all want to talk about what's going on in the spring, you know, go ahead. Right now is the time to post your questions right there in the chat, man. Me and Garrison to get to them.
And look, for anybody, like, if you guys want to, you know, I'll go ahead because, you know, one of those times we can do this. I'll drop the link actually in the chat if you want to call in, give your take. We'll be gladly listen to any questions you have. Again, like, hey, this section of this half of the show, it's about you guys. We want to make it about you guys. Let you guys get out whatever you have to say. Mike, I did until we see a few things. I actually I want to talk to you about this because I don't think we've ever gotten to talk about what happened with the university, the team in Ann Arbor. Let's go about that way, right?
Uh-oh.
And I had talked to someone, and I can't give up the source that they asked me not to, but I have a source that happens to be an AD somewhere, and their mentor just happens to be someone named Ward Manning. Now, what they told me is that, you know, when I asked them about the whole situation, right? Because I said, you know, it's not just this hire. You know, they hired another nasty man, and then they hired, you know, had to go fire Shimmy Schimbucker because we all found out he was a bumbling racist. And this is what the source told me, okay? It says it's one of three things. Either they say you have an AD of staff compliance, an AD of success, and one that does vetting, which is twice removed from the administration, okay? Mm-hmm. Now it's one of these few things if something like this happens. Either you hired a coach that you don't respect. Clearly they hired or the wrong coach. Clearly they love Jim Harbaugh, right? So it's not that. They said, or your coach has no respect for the admin. I don't think it's that. A lot of people don't think that Jim Harbaugh doesn't like their head coach, right? But I think, or Ward Manning, but I think they have a respect for each other, right? Mm-hmm. Being football players at the University of Michigan and knowing their positions. So then if it's not those two, this is what she said it is. there's too much power given by the administration to the head coach.
Like institutional control.
And we keep we keep getting back to that because that's the one thing I told my best friend Bryce, who's a Michigan fan. I said, dude, you guys are terrible at having a betting process. You gave them too much control. What do you say to that?
I mean, you said, ask your question again. Say it again.
Yes. So when you have why is it that Michigan fans, basically it's this, why can't Michigan fans understand a situation where, yes, you're like, because they believe they are the leaders and best. They have a moral high ground above everybody else. So then when they see things like this, like me and you are Buckeyes, baby, going through some crap, it's par for the course. Whether it be Woody Hayes, Jim Tressel, don't matter. Clearly they don't know how to handle it. So how would you shoulder a Michigan fan that is going through denial right now about their program?
Ain't no shouldering them, man. We from the Midwest. Ain't no being soft. It's time to suck it up. And they just got to deal. And they just got to deal with it. I think that's the issue with their fan base. And we just have to be understanding of it, right? It's like that little brother, right? You've been beating him his whole life, and he just got a little bit of success, right? Then you come to find out that he done put some cheat codes in the game, right? And then you like, that don't count and everything. No, man, I beat you, dude. That's what we're dealing with, right? Mm-hmm. That's all we're dealing with, or whatever. Play a little psychological on us a little bit, but I mean, there's no rationalizing this. They just need to suck it up. I mean, Ohio State fans, we had to suck it up. We ain't had we had to stay 10 toes on it. I think what they did is even worse because what we did or Tressel did was deemed constitutional. They deemed our punishment was unconstitutional. So, whatever that team up north did, that's another thing. But we got our guy Tyler in here, man. You want to bring him up, Garrison?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I like Tyler. He's a good call, man. He's a good call. Tyler, what's going on?
I'm great, Garrison. I'm great, Mike.
How you living?
And it's great getting to know you guys on Twitter, by the way.
Well, you know what's funny? If you, depending on the day you actually go on there, you actually might see me and Mike just arguing about God knows what. But but we're actually really cool with each other. We're actually nice friends,
So I got a lot to say about this. So the craziest part about this is we still don't know we still don't know maybe 90% of what's going on.
You mean with and up in Ann Arbor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I agree with you, Tyler. Honestly, the way I believe the feds work is they hit you with this in public, boom. Mm-hmm. And then later there's always something else that comes out, right? Because it's like, hey, we got you with this, right? Right now, what him and his attorneys trying to do is work out a deal. We got this on you too. Well, whoa, what is that? This is. I don't believe that. Here's my thing. It's hard for me to believe this man did all of this and nobody, not a single soul knew. It is just so hard. Like he could have been this creeper or whatever. But the fact that nobody knew, the fact that it was there that long, I don't know if y'all been to college, but I believe that that team up north, their school should be more secure than my school. And if you're on the school internet and you even looking up porn, like you getting something sent to your email address. Like, yeah. I mean, so I just don't understand how this dude was able to do what he was doing and nobody knew for all this time. That's just kind of crazy.
And the craziest part about it, Mike, I used to be in the Army. So if you
hey Tyler, man, hey. Oh, but I don't even have anything up here.
Oh, I'm a retiree from the Army. Thank you. And
Appreciate
thank you for
your
your
service.
service too, Garrison.
Appreciate your service, Tyler. What were you saying, buddy?
Well, when in the military, Garrison, sexual assault and harassment is a big no-no.
Big no.
So, the fact that he did this on his own on his work computer, you don't know what else. If he got pictures of guys, if he got pictures, how many
what
women?
They said 150,000 computers were hacked into. Mind you, they also said it's up to 5 years for each case.
I mean, 150,000 times 5. You're
a long time. A long time.
And that's another thing. Like I feel like, okay, all those cases, normally something like this that could put you away. For one, your bail is not normally that low, and you normally probably don't make bail.
Yeah,
right?
$10,000.
So
that's
why I don't believe that it's only him. I think that this is gonna, maybe it might not even be anybody involved with the university, but I don't believe that he's the only person. I believe that this is gonna go way deeper, bro.
When the feds come and knocking.
I mean, when it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it swims like a duck, flies like a duck, or looks like a duck, it's a duck.
But that's the part that I don't understand. They said the FBI of the state of Michigan is the one who found this out, right?
Yep,
they're the ones who found this out. How the hell the school didn't find this out? I'm telling you, man, I can't. Anything that I look up on my work laptop, my work computer, like they know about.
Yeah, they know about it.
Yeah, if I try to, I mean, bro, like it's just very hard for me to believe that the FCS school of the University of Central Arkansas that I went to is more secure, and their IT and their guys do better checks than that team up north.
Well, and here's the other crazy part. So, you as Michigan, if this somehow links up with all the practice footage of Ohio State, oh boy.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm anyone from the coaching staff at Michigan for the last few years, like if I was a coach and they gave me a show cause, look, man. Hey, I'm Charleston White on them, bro. I am snitching on every single. Hey,
snitches get stitches.
Hey, I'm not getting that show cause.
Yeah,
I ain't getting that show cause.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they say that this doesn't have anything to do with the football, but it's just weird when you have, here's the part that's weird, right? You have the medical data, which is a HIPAA violation. Exactly, right? But then also, do y'all not remember when the Bama players was about to play that team up north and they was interviewing the players, and one of the players was saying, we can't use our tablets because they are known for hacking into them. Who was the hacker? So here's my thing. Is it possible that Matt Weiss could have been like, hey, I use this little profile, or I use this program to get this information or whatever, or hey, you, Connor Stallions or whoever, you could use this program to get whatever information you need. Here's my thing is, we still don't know who hacked into this Catapult database to be watching other people's practice film, right? All we know is that Nick Saban, one of the greatest coaches out here, literally said, players, you will not be able to watch any practice film or anything on your iPad. I mean, again, And that's why I say when people say that, there's sign stealings or, people had enough time to change them. One thing that you do not have enough time to change is your routine. Them guys have been looking at them iPads, working. Think about it. If I got my plan and I know I got this blocked off to be studying film or looking at my iPad at this time, that's the routine that I have always went through. And now I'm not going through that routine for my game week now. That's what I don't think that a lot of people understand, that the time that those teams, that those players had, those coaches had to teach these guys new signals and stuff. Yep. That took away from game preparation.
Mike, Garrison, I got a question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
How much time and effort did this man, Matt Weiss, actually put in to do this?
A lot. Again, if you're hacking over 150, bro, 150,000 is a lot. Like, because you got to think about it. Like, and I'm with Mike on this. I would assume if you do that much, someone has to help you do this. But it clearly
full-time offensive coordinator in college.
You're doing this.
You're a full-time offensive coordinator in college. Where do you find the time in recruiting, in game planning, in development, all of that? Now, I understand, like my guy Doug said, he started this in 2015. Apparently, this all started in the NFL. But again, that takes me to the vetting process.
Yeah.
Okay. Again. Now we saw the NFL. We seen Iowa University all catch their guys in these gambling schemes because they use the IP address. That you telling me the Ravens organization, our team, didn't catch this?
And Garrison, you know this too.
The Baltimore FBI field office didn't catch this. It's just only Detroit caught this.
When going through and the military, and when you're processing through the military to enlist, you have to get background checked.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
hey man, they checking your tattoos. They check everything.
Yes. So that tells me a whole lot about their background checks of Michigan.
I don't. Like I said, man, I think it was a situation where they gave a lot of power to the head coach who wasn't vetting properly. And let's be honest. Listen, I'll give the guy his credit here. He said, "Let me die trying."
Figuratively and literally.
So I want to go through some of these times. We started a few comments here, Mike. I saw one from Sharice here. I heard that running back James Peebles is expected to be the breakout star this year. Like Tal, I wasn't sure if you were in our space earlier. Yes, we talked about you were, and we talked about this. All three of us were in there talking about this. About because our guy Cam, like our friend Cam, said that he thinks that Bo Jackson was the most talented running back in that running back room. And right when I heard that, I said I stopped him because I can understand saying C.J. Dowson Jr. isn't the most talented guy. I can understand that.
Yeah. I
can understand if you don't think Sam Williams-Dixon is. I would probably slow down on that, but I could see why you say that. And also, I think Turbo Rogers, for some odd reason, that conversation was just getting overshadowed.
Well, I think a part of that reason is because he's not here yet. He don't show up until May.
Exactly. Yeah. When we talk about James Peebles, when we have guys around the team, the veterans, the coaches, comparing one specific player to a 2,000-yard listen, guys, Ezekiel Elliott didn't rush for 2,000. Maurice Clarett didn't run for 2,000. Beanie Wells didn't run for 2,000, mostly because of injuries, but he still didn't do it.
Yeah.
Mike Weber didn't do it. A lot of guys didn't do it. That guy did. That's who he's being compared to.
J.K. Dobbins.
And so that's why, like Therese, I think James Peebles, once he learns how to pass block, because I think that's the final card for you as a running back to establish yourself as a overall running back. until then, I don't know why anyone in that running back room would be called more talented than he is. What do you guys want to share your?
Right now, all the guys other than Donaldson is unproven. And I think I was watching or listening to Bill Landis, and he was talking about Donaldson. Most of the time when he was, getting the ball or he ran, he was most of the time going up against an 8-man box or whatever. So he slimmed down. That was one of the things that Coach Locke had asked of him. And I think that maybe starting off, this might be a running back by committee until someone shows what they can do, right? And to be honest, I'm not here to downplay anybody. We don't know. Like, we don't know what James people could be, because one thing that I hate that Ryan Day does at the end of the games is just let the defense know what he's going to do. Like, I wish he would keep the freaking offense open and just allow these guys to work. Like,
but Mike,
that's what I'm saying. But I think that all of our running backs are going to be good. I think James People is going to be good. If he's the breakout star, I hope so. But I think all of our running backs, they lock boys now. I'm not questioning our running backs with Coach Locke back there. I'm not. Maybe back when we had Benedict Arnold, but no. Yeah, Benedict Alford. My bad.
I still think, man, that dude left it. Like you left for a team up north that won that, and you leave us. Hey man,
and they fall off.
Here's my question though. So even if we, how do I want to ask this question? So even if we have a slight drop off for our running backs, I don't even think that's going to be much of a problem, because you got all the rest of the talent around you to help supplement what the production you lost last year. So honestly, I think that this team is going to be better than last year's team.
I think what will help this running back room out is I felt like the coaching staff had to realize like later in the season, or they didn't realize it until the playoffs. Hey, we're going to throw the ball to open up the running game. And it's okay, because I feel like before, even not just, last year, but even in previous years, it was always, hey, we're going to run the ball to open up the pass game. And I just don't believe that Ohio State has to be that way. I think you can either be both, just depending on which team, right? You can, I think mostly the team up north types, you probably need to throw the ball vertically downfield to open up that run game, because what did they do? Most of the guys was sitting back, but they were crashing hard down the field, So I think it's just all about what the coaches are going to do. But I got faith in Coach Locke. I was one of the biggest critics of Travion Henderson. I will tell you, if you was on the Best Damn Media Network, or if you was in the space with me, I was very critical of him. I was critical about how he ran to finesse, how he didn't have vision. But I actually seen Coach Locke fix that.
Well, I was a Travion Henderson fan since from day one, because I was stationed in Virginia, and so I got to see him. I got to see him outside of Hopewell, because I was stationed in Fort Lee. So they played right next to Fort Lee, so I got to see him all the time, and he was run past everyone every single game. It's just, I think it was honestly Tony Alford that was the problem.
Agreed.
Just stop cussing on our show. We don't say those words. So another of our guy, Don B. Thank you, Don, for the question. What are your honest thoughts on Julian Sand?
Your honest thoughts on Julian Sand?
I think Julian Sand. I've been calling him Caucasian Tua. That's what I've been calling him. Because he's just a smaller guy. I mean, he was bigger than Tua now. He's like, he looks like 6'2" now. Like he's grown a little bit. I think Julius Sand is going to be a really good quarterback at Ohio State. We talked about it earlier on in the space about whether you think, I asked the guys, do they think the offense is going to lean more towards the run or the pass? And I think, even when we had CJ Stroud, if you look at the numbers, yeah, we still run the ball more. But in terms of how we open the offense up, I think all right. One of the biggest lies that has been told is that you have to win the rushing game to win the game. That's been one of the biggest lies.
You don't have to.
And exactly. And I think that was proven from this past season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I believe had we not run tight sets, had we not allowed ourselves to be tricked into running up the middle and we spread them out and do the ball downfield, as Mike and I have said plenty of times, but for some odd reason, Michigan fans don't know how to grasp that football logic.
Basic English.
Basic English. Let's call it that. I believe that Ryan Day, you offer him the chance to, with a good defense, to throw the ball. I think he's going to do it. We were talking about Mylan Graham earlier. Yes, Garrison has a wild take that says that he's going to be by the end of the season, he will look like the number 2 most talented guy. Now, that all depends on what if Cardinal Tate is just Cardinal Tate can possibly show me something different in the number 2 spot. I will admit to that. Like, I think we should, grant him that, not grace, but put that out there. But I think Julian Sanders the guy. I trust him. I trust Ryan Day's eyes at the quarterback position. I'm not gonna let Cal McCord and my old love for him blind the fact that I believe that Ryan Day is.
Don't forget his dad too. Don't forget his dad too.
If not the best, I'll call him the second because of what Lincoln Riley has done with quarterbacks. I believe Ryan Day is right up there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you take away the Cal McCord year, first year starting not just first year starting quarterbacks, but the guys that play under Ryan Day in their first season, they average almost 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I trust him.
Yeah.
And I trust he does the same. So
my take on Sand has been this, man. Let's just start from first time seeing him. Spring game. Last spring game. He looked very nervous when he was out there. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. I'm worried about his mental capability. Is he that dog that Ohio State quarterback, embodies? That's some of the things that I need to see, right? But from what everybody is saying about him, he sounds like the next man up. So one thing that I know about Ryan Day, he does not normally make the same mistake twice. And like Garrison said, like, I'll be having PTSD from the Kyle McCord saga all the time, people. Trust me. But like I said, Ryan Day doesn't normally make the same mistakes twice. If he felt like he needed to go get a quarterback, I believe he would have went and did that in the portal cycle. If we don't go get a quarterback in the portal, then even in this next portal, that lets you know, like, hey, what they have trust either in Julian Sand or Lincoln Kinghope. My whole thing is let the best man play, whoever is going to command the offense, and be that guy, man. And that's why I said earlier in the show that number 2 quarterback is going to be so important, because I believe if it is Lincoln Kinghope, he can be that run element, because I know that Julian Sand hit a growth spurt. The boy's still small, and this is the Big Ten. I'm sorry, but I think people forget we play in the Big Ten, and our trenches have always been known for being massive. So that's just some things that I worry about. I mean, you've seen it. Kyle got hurt. He's bigger than him. CJ's gotten hurt. He's bigger than him. Phil's gotten hurt. He's like, we can keep going down the line. Like, I think the only quarterback that ain't got hurt here was Cardell Jones and Kenny Guyton.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, bro. Hey, Will took a shot to his head and started wobbling. Like,
so here's my thoughts on Julian Sand. I think he's going to be your next CJ Stroud.
That's what I've been leading to. I just don't want to say it, but I'm happy to say it.
Yeah, I think that he's going to be the next CJ Stroud. But what's making me give pause is what
Billy Fessler.
Billy Fessler, what he said, that he has to work on his arm strength.
Yep. Well, a lot of that has to do with his smaller shoulders, not as big as a guy. You know, probably got to work out. Probably got some baby fat in your stomach. But it's also because he has a quick release. And now, even though quick release can be very good, you're also when you need plays that have to develop, and you got to hit Jeremiah 40, 50, 60 yards down the field, that quick wind up isn't going to work. No, but Mike, you have to get going right now, man.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and slide, man. I appreciate you all again, man. We will be live. What's that? Tomorrow, 7:30. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. If you are not following me on the X app, following me at 216_wildboy. Garrison, I appreciate you. Tyler, I appreciate you all. Hey, without you all, this show is not anything, man. This platform is not anything. So we appreciate you all blowing up the super chats, blowing up the live chat, and we'll be here every other Tuesday. We here for Buckeye Brigade. Garrison's dropping content every day. We got some content on the Sam Greer. I believe Ryan dropped that earlier. Yep. And then Garrison will be having call-in shows and stuff all week. So make sure you logged in to the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Mike. We still got 20 minutes here, guys. So again, if you have any questions that you want to put up here, Tyler, man, I'm gonna keep you up here, man. Well, Mike doesn't love me anymore, so I got well, so we got our next question right here from Sharice. Says, honestly, I think Sam will be good. Not question, but comment. Honestly, I think Julian Sam will be good at quarterback, but probably just not as good as Will Howard or CJ Stroud, but at least he will be good enough to win. So, Sharice, this is where I'll tell you this much. Starting out, I think that Will Howard has a higher floor than Julian this upcoming season. And that's a lot because, of the time he spent in Kansas State. He's played a lot of football. Hell, before he came to Ohio State, let's not forget the guy did win the Big 12 championship. Beat a team beat the team up north.
Yeah.
A team that we could have easily won that. Oh, never mind.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna bring that up.
You know what? No. I got one thing I wanted to bring up about that. You know how they during the Georgia game leading up to it, how there was a team that was supposedly recording us.
Yes, there was.
A little conductive reasoning, Garrison. Who do you think that was, really?
I don't know. Their mascot might be an animal that doesn't live in the state of Michigan. I don't know.
I think it was a Block M that was watching us.
Yeah. Well, Will Howard does not have as much talent as Julian. Well, he doesn't have as much arm talent as Julian Stan. Yeah. I'll say that. So I think maybe in year two, listen, there's a good chance that Julian comes out this season and has a Dwayne Haskins Jr. year where he goes off and he's gone. Like those 50 touchdowns and poof, he's done. I don't expect that to happen. So I think in year two, though, you're going to really see him progress. And, I think that's when you'll see him separate from a Will Howard. When it comes to being CJ Stroud, I think there's a chance that he can be as prolific as CJ. I do believe. I think everything is correct, and what people believe about Julian, and what even guys like Denzel Burke have said about him, I believe that he can take that next step. Tyler, what do you say?
I agree. I completely agree. I think that it's Will Howard. He had like you said. I agree completely that he had a much bigger floor than Julian, but the ceiling for Julian is through the roof.
Yeah. I think 35 to 40 touchdowns is the goal.
Now, is that in the regular season or is that in the playoff, including the playoffs?
Regular. I think it's in play for regular season.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, I mean, think about it, man. Like Max Clare is out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys I think they're gonna get the ball to, and when they get to the goal line, I mean, chances are, I mean, that's probably CJ Downs in time. But I'm very confident that Julian Sand, and a lot of that has to do with who the head coach is.
Mm-hmm. Death taxes and Jeremiah Smith. Yep, that's
they're doing. I think Sand's pocket mobility is better than Howard. They took over Solis on Howard's mobility. He looked robotic. Okay, well, day one. First off, I want to say this: Sand did have a 15-yard run during the football season where he looked really good. I was like, all right, cool. I know he can do that. But when it comes to Will Howard, let's not act like he didn't have a 70-yard touchdown run against Texas 2 years ago. I don't know if Julian can do it. Like, and then also, like last season, they said Will was the fastest quarterback. That's what they said. And I don't know. I think if Will Howard had one more year at Ohio State, I think we see something completely different out of him.
I think that he also regretted not coming here in the first place.
Probably so. I mean, hell, I mean, Penn State. I'm sure they look dumb as hell now. Not one of them, but so I'd be happy with 32 touchdowns and 4 to 5 interceptions. That's doable.
Yeah, that's very doable.
I mean, what 32? And day one, I'm guessing you're saying like within 12 games. I think 32 touchdowns. Listen, guys, this is not the University of. This isn't the team up north.
No.
Where, mind you, well, I'll ask everyone in the chat. Do you know what the record is? Without looking, just go ahead and type what the passing touchdown record is at the University of Michigan, and do you know who said it? Tyler, do you know?
Honestly, I don't.
If I told you the number and the name, you would laugh. You would laugh your ass off. I don't see what's going on.
Can I give a prediction though?
Yeah, let me hear it.
Is it Drew Hansen?
I'll give you one more.
Chris. I know. I don't remember his name. It starts with it's something Chris. It's.
You mean Chad?
Yeah, Chad.
Chad Henne has the record for the most passing touchdowns at the University of Michigan. He set it his freshman year at 25.
Yeah, we're gonna pass that. No problem.
It still has not been beaten. So the whole point is 32 is going to happen because that just happens in Ohio. Like that's a sick number, by the way. 25.
With the receivers we have, Garrison, that's no problem.
Yeah, it's very easy. See, from Abdul, do y'all think Devin will play that Jermaine role from this past season, or do you think move Iggy to nickel and start Devin? Abdul, I talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, in my perfect world, I would actually move Iggy to safety or nickel because unless he progresses, unless he's showing me that he's not as handsy, I actually would move him there. Also, because I believe he's the best tackling corner in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Burke was up there too with him, but I think Devin, he's gonna be like Jermaine, where you play him. But I do think sometime midway through the year, I could see a situation where we get to a point where you can't keep Devin off the field. Now the question is, who do you keep off? Because now you're talking about guys like Lorenzo Styles, who plays safety, more like safety nickel.
Mm-hmm.
You have got which is situational, and a lot of the things that Matt Patricia does with his defense is being multiple. A lot of it's situational.
Mm-hmm.
You're also talking about guys like Aaron Scott, who had time last year, who's very.
I really like Aaron Scott.
Same here, and then also as Mike brought up earlier with Bryce West, who fun fact, I mean the only corner in the corner, the only DB faster than Bryce West is Evan Sanchez, but it's not been. I think I think that he is the Will Johnson for our team when you can't keep him off the field.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
So if I were to put, so if we're moving Iggy to safety, right? Like you said,
I mean, it was something that I would do.
I know
Not
that's
yet.
why I'm about to piggy off of that. So if we take Malik Harford and Jalen McClain and rotate them in right behind Iggy, I would put Devin Sanchez, Aaron Scott, and Bryce West as your 3 starting corners.
Over Jermaine?
Well, and also Jermaine and rotate him at nickel.
Okay. I can't take Jermaine off the field. So I'll tell you what, Tyler. Freshman year, I got to see his pick 6 live.
Oh, okay.
And I was already a big fan of him coming out of high school, and I said, okay. You know, because you like, even though it was against a weak-ass team, you want to see the young guys make some plays, right? Especially plays like that.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last 2 years, man, or last year, man, every time I saw him on the field, I was very comfortable with saying this. I think he's a better cover corner than Denzel Burke or Igbenogson.
Yeah.
And so
I was just like trying to think of like putting more bigger guys out there.
Oh, well, this is where I agree with you. Say if we were to put Iggy at safety, yes, you put Jermaine at nickel. I think he would thrive there. And if you put Devin Sanchez and Aaron Scott on the outside, being 2 taller guys. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that could work. I think Bryce West is the guy that you bring in and out.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So then here comes the question: who would you put behind Caleb as your backup safety behind Caleb?
Not a soul. Not a soul.
Because we're at the rotate him.
Malik.
Okay.
I like Malik. I think he's a hard hitter. I would assume his coverage skills have gotten better. Of course, he did have the injury last season, so we're going to see him progress from that. But he's a big corner, 6'2", 6'3", can play down a lot. So yeah, I would say him. McClain behind. I think McClain's going to be the starter at safety. I do believe Igbenogson will be the starting corner, of course. But I would say McClain after that, and I'm a big fan of McClain. I'm really sad that Bonzu was gone because I was a big fan of him. But yeah, that's what
I'm also a big fan of though Garrison Fahim Delane.
Oh yeah. But he was I think there's a lot of guys, especially like I think corner we're deep. Corners we're deep at that position. Safety has to be worked out. You're talking Caleb Downs, then you're talking McClain. I can't really even throw Lorenzo there because Lorenzo plays nickel mostly. Hartford. After that,
we got a very deep rotation.
Yeah, I really want to see where he goes, and I'm really interested in seeing what that whole DB situation looks like. I think it can be very versatile. At the same time, he's got to wait and see.
Now, how do you feel about the linebackers too?
Very confident.
Yep, I'm very confident too because I said this on one of my others on another podcast. I think that we're going to have the best linebacker room in college football this year. Maybe Georgia starts off the best this year, but Kirby doesn't rotate his linebackers. And so I think that Peyton Pierce, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Riley Pettijohn, Eli Lee, and Tarvis Alford, they're going to be the best linebacker team in college football next year.
Oh, I definitely agree. Shoot, man. Well, do you have anything left for everyone else? I'm going to bring Mark up here.
No, I don't got anything else. And Garrison, I'm going to be in the chat.
Oh, no. Tyler, appreciate you, man. I'll see you in the spaces, man. You're always there. You're always there with me. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
OH.
I.O. Wasn't sure. I thought I saw Mark Rogers up here. I wasn't sure if Mark was going to come up here yet. But again, I see this right here from day one. You know, he's CB1 this season unless Iggy takes a guy. Look, I do believe there's a chance that Iggy can take that leap. Again, I think he's an A+ tackler. I think he has an A+ motor. I think he actually has really good eyes and seeing where the ball is. I think he's very good at shading corners. And again, we harp on his him grabbing players and all that. I think he led the nation with like 14 or 15 pass interferences or penalties at the corner position. Now, on a game-by-game basis, if I do the math, is that much? No, compared to the rest of the snaps he does, right? Because think about that. Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. Oh, see, and that I appreciate that. Thank you. But day one, you and everyone else, you remember the Indiana game where on one drive, Ibn Nosen had 2 holding calls. And of course, it's aggravating to see that. But every time I bring up that game or ever someone brings up that game to me about Ibn Nosen, I say, okay, well, that's fine. Now, tell me about the other snaps in the game that he played. Because usually we talk about 60 to 70 snaps about, maybe sometimes 80. It all depends, but I thought he played great the rest of the game. So I don't want to I try not to harp too much on Ignosa when it comes to holding, because I do believe that he's a really good corner. I think that he does well for the team, and he does what the coaches asked him to do. And again, yes, I have no argument with this. I do believe Jermaine is the best covered corner on this team. Unless Devin Sanchez and Aaron Scott show me something different, or if Edwin Nosen shows something different this season, of course, because there's a chance that he does that, as we said earlier. I think that Jermaine is the main guy. I think he's going to be a complete dog. And again, when you have these Ohio boys who are highly talented and they want to play for the program and they want to show up for their home state and show up for their hometown, it's different, man. It means something, you know? So, yes, I remember, especially because he has a ton of elite plays, but those holes come on very opportune times. Yes, they do. And you can't argue it. But, hey, man, again, I do believe, just like you, he's a very good corner. I think Emily said up here earlier, she thinks he's a really good corner. I agree with you. I believe most of the players that start for Ohio State are good players, unless you have a situation where I don't know. I don't want to name any players I thought weren't good that started. But unless we have any more questions, guys, we're getting towards the end here. Again, I want to thank you all for showing up on this Tuesday. Again, we're here every other Tuesday, the second and fourth Tuesday of every month, here on the Buckeye Brigade. Thank you for coming to the channel. Again, everybody, do not forget to show up tomorrow for the new show here on the at Ohio State, the Voice of College Football, the world famous Buckeye show with our guy Cleve Mike and Terry. I'm going to be there for it. I'm going to be watching because I'm going to be excited to watch it. I think that's going to be an awesome show. These guys, unless if you haven't already, everyone, these two have been making content for some time now together. And I love to watch. I think these guys are great. They're a great team, and I'm glad that I'm teammates with them now. Again, Mike, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the network and all that you do. Again, everyone, you can find us on Ohio State Primetime on Mondays and then on the call-in show on Thursdays. Don't forget. Don't forget. We appreciate you for the super chats, everyone. That means a lot to us. Again, that's something that you guys don't have to do, but if you do, we really appreciate it. And as always, one more shout out. Thank you again to Katie. Everyone, if you missed it, I'll clip it up and drop it. She played Carmen, Ohio for us on the trombone for us, which is awesome. But as always, OHIO.